friends, and welcome back to another video. I am Tabitha, born to DIY. So in today's video, we're going to be wrapping up and finalizing the DIY patio area. And so, um, as you know, I had already posted 2 videos. If you have not seen those videos, go ahead and check those videos. I'll leave those videos. Well, actually, I'll leave that playlist down in the description, so that way you can watch them and catch up. Today, we're going to be finalizing it, okay? It has been raining, and so I haven't had the opportunity. No, I'm sorry. So I have not had the opportunity to actually get out here because it's been raining. And so I'm going to be able to do it this morning. Let me put it this way. We have thunderstorms that's supposed to be coming this evening. And so I can go ahead and get this part taken care of today. If you're returning, then you're aware the sun rises on the back of my house and it sets on the front of my house. So I'm out in this heat this morning and I've been on the road. On a roll. I made trips to Home Depot as well as Lowe's this morning to try to finalize and get everything else that I needed to complete this. I will say this, as you know, I stated I wanted to add additional row of pavers to the back. Well, I just left from Home Depot and Lowe's and they do not have any of the 20 by 20. So I will just have to add that row at a later time. But anyway, I am going to show you where we're starting from. We're going to finalize that. And then I'm also having to do the final 2 pots with the cement. So I have all that. So let me just turn the camera around, show you those. Thank you and welcome. Alrighty, so I have these 2 pots. And so I'm actually about to put the post in these 2 pots as well as with the cement. And then we're going to move back out here into the patio that we're going to finalize today. We're going to blow this off, get this nice and situated, paint the 4x4s. I have 4 of those because I already have some of the other ones. I really had wanted to get out here and have hubby to cut 2 of these branches back, which will help with all of the falling out here, but it's going to be nice once fall comes in. But yeah, that's another story. So anyway, we're going to get the pots like that, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get into today's video. Okay, so as you can see, I basically changed my mind and decided to work on the patio area first versus doing the flower pots with the cement, the quick set. So I decided that we're going to go ahead and take this weekend to go ahead and finalize and be done with this patio. It's been prolonged for entirely too long, to the point that is driving me insane that I could not get this completed because of the weather. So anyway, I checked the weather, and what we've been having now is just, we still is getting rain. It's just the thunderstorms are late in the evenings and sometimes like at night. So I'm finalizing it this weekend. Alrighty, so what I'm doing now is I'm taking the 4x4s, and I had to purchase 4 4x4s because the original wood post that I had used prior to this, that is what I'm using in the flower pots. And so I still need to paint the back of those. So when I use these actually in the center blocks, I didn't paint the back or the bottoms because it visually wasn't going to be shown. You know, I only painted 3 sides. And so that is why you see the back side of the flower pots. But I can do that anytime. And so that is what you see me not focusing on right now. So I'm taking this outdoor, it's black flat, and it is for fence and wood. And I actually didn't realize until I went back, I used this exact same paint on my shutters as well as my front door and my back door outside. And I did that 4 years ago, the same time that I did this center block DIY bench. I have no chipping on my doors nor my shutters. Like, this black paint is really good, and I purchased this paint from Walmart. And so the saying goes, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So this is the paint that I'm using. I'm still using, and so I purchased another can as well, so that way I can have it in case for touch-ups or running out or something like that. So what I did was I actually took the little, the plastic, which I had got from the Dollar Tree, and I use that to cover the center blocks. But I'm covering the center blocks so that while I'm painting, the paint won't drop down on my pavers, okay? I apologize. I am trying to move this camera around so that way you can just get a better view of what I'm doing. Because the sun is so bright in this backyard, so many of the angles, it's like you're really not getting a chance to see what I'm doing from the brightness. Okay, so anyway, I'm now painting. Again, I am only painting 3 sides. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you now, there's no reason to paint the bottom. So I'm painting the 3 sides. And so I did 2 coats. It was so hot out here this morning that this paint was drying really fast. I didn't have no problems with it drying. In the shade, it is really cool, but if you're in the actual direct sun, it was extremely hot. And so it was bearable because I was drinking my water. I was also drinking my liquid IV. I did go in the house every now and then to cool off. So I did take several breaks. But we was getting this done. Mine, I tell you, I was out here for 4 hours getting this done, and I still didn't complete it in this morning session, until I had to actually come back out that evening to work on the flower pots. I didn't get the flower pots this particular morning. So once I get basically almost all of the 3 sides painted, there's some I couldn't get to, so I lift the plastic up and moved it down on the pavers, and then I put the 4x4s down on the pavers so that way I can finally paint the last side. Once I get that done, I did go ahead and do some touch-up painting also on the cedar blocks. And it's not that the touch-up painting was coming from it peeling off or something. It was just basically from like spots, from things like water, the tree above and stuff that had dropped on it. And so it was looking kind of dull, and I wanted it to look the same. So that is what you'll see me doing, touching up on that. So as I'm doing this DIY, actually while I'm painting, I was also, thinking about the pavers, because if you new here, these pavers was actually under an old storage shed that my father and I had assembled and put it together ourselves. That storage shed was behind that current storage shed now that you see to the left of me. And I didn't realize that I had 30 of those pavers. It was years ago when we built and put that storage shed together. And so when we tore down that storage shed, my husband, my brother, and I, that's when we discovered I had 30 of those. I think I had a few of them, maybe 4, that was cracked a little. And so I didn't utilize the ones that was cracked. And so I was like, what am I going to do with these pavers? And these are actually 20 by 20. So I decided that I can just do a DIY patio. And so that is how I came up with this particular idea. It was never a part of my original plans to do a patio and this area right here. I was going to do a small one. Wasn't going to even use pavers at all. I was going to do a gravel, like a little sitting area for a fire pit. And that was going to be on the other side of the yard. So this was something I came up at the last minute. So also why I'm actually painting this wood, as I was trying to get to, there are a couple of spots on these pavers that will not come clean, even with me pressure washing. I used the outdoor bleach. I used everything, and it's like a rust or whatever on them. So I decided that I'm going to stain these pavers. That will be no time soon. I'm going to finish all of my other backyard projects first. And staining this will be something I do last, which will probably be late in the fall. I don't know in your area, but down south here in Alabama, it doesn't cool off until late October, maybe the middle or end of November. And yet some Decembers, our temperatures still are in the late 80s, up in the high 80s. So it just depends on what our weather down here want to do. But it's much cooler than what it is now, even at those temperatures. Let me state that way. So, yes, that's what I'm going to do. Also, if you're new here, I'm going to remind you, this area behind the storage, that is going to be probably one of my last projects. And I want to do a little garden area over there for growing my vegetables and everything. All that needs cleaning off, as well as behind here, as well as some of the under the tree. And so that is going to come later. All this is going to be cleaned off behind here. I'm going to do something nice that's going to be under the tree, around the tree. So once I get to that, you'll see that area. This backyard transformation is going to be an ongoing project. This DIY patio is just currently the focus right now. Well, was the focus. Let me say that because I just finished it in this video. So the next project would be the back porch area, and I'll explain that in the next backyard video. I think I have a video. The video that is coming up after this one is not an outdoor video. I think it's some projects that I have going on in the house. It's one. So yes, so I think it's in between, but it'll be probably the second video, but I'm working on that as well. So anyway, so now what you see that I am doing, I am actually taking my little bricks. So I purchased these bricks from Lowe's, and they are the bricks that are 68 cents. Some of them I had actually, one time they had them on sale for like 21 cents. I wish I would have caught it then, but I didn't. I waited too late. But I am using the red brick and keeping my distance all the way around the paver patio. I want the exact same diameter around the perimeter of the area, because where you see the red brick that I'm just using as a guide to keep the correct distance, that is where I'm going to put the white drainage rocks, and you'll see me adding that to the area shortly. So that is what you see what I'm doing there. You can probably see that I already have lights wrapped around these two poles that are already here in the DIY flower pots that I did. And those lights actually came from Temu. Yeah. So here's a little bit closer view where you can see that I'm using the red bricks to make sure that I'm keeping the same distance all the way around. So that worked out. I only used, I didn't actually count how many bricks that I used. I probably should have counted that. I only use 4 of the white drainage rocks for this space. So, and that wasn't too bad using that as well. But yeah, I will actually have to go back and count the number of, I'll have to count that so I can see actually how much the total cost that I paid for this DIY. The pavers, of course, that was purchased years ago. And when I say years ago, probably a decade ago. So what I did buy currently would have been the white, the little gray bricks, the 4 bags of the drainage gravel rocks, the drainage rocks. And I purchased those large flower pots, which is 22 inches. Those came from Sam's, and Sam's still currently have a lot of those and have them on sale for $15 each. You can see those actually on my shorts. I did one of the little videos for that when I was in Sam's, and I purchased these pots maybe 2 months ago, and I went back a week ago and they still had more, which they sold out. So they must have a large quantity of them. Each pot I use an 80-pound bag of the cement, the 4x4s. I purchased 4 of those and they were $11 a piece. So once I count the number of gray little bricks, I'll leave down in the description the total that it costs for this DIY patio, because everything else I already had. So yeah, that should be fun to see how much I actually paid for this DIY. Oh, let me give you a spoiler alert. I was so heartbroken that I absolutely could not find any more of the 20x20 pavers, because I really needed the 20x20 pavers for the additional row in order for my sunshade to go up, because currently the pots are too close that they're too close that the sunshade can't go up. It would have been exactly perfect with that distance, so I'll just do that. But as I was working on this project, so many ideas was going through my mind to where I came up with a solution that can better help myself. And so what I could do is and I explained this at the end, I can actually take out the middle pavers to extend it out and put in smaller pavers in the center. I just need to make sure they're the exact same height, as well as make sure it fills the space within, and use that to extend it out, because my outdoor patio rug will actually cover that up. So that is what an alternate solution that I actually came up with. And I think I would wait and do that once I actually stain the pavers. So that will be on down the road. But that would only happen if I am absolutely not able to get the 20x20s. Home Depot does not have them at all. I have 2 Home Depots here, but I only have 1 Lowe's that is here. I have to go to a near city to see if their Lowe's have those. So I'll see, but that's not worth of me even traveling to one of the cities to get that when I have a plan B already. So yeah, I love the way that this patio turned out. Let me just say that. We have been sitting out here in the evenings, and even sometimes when the sun is still out, it is still cool up under this tree, that we are actually enjoying this spot. I am so loving it. But I just can't wait until I finish the area behind it, get it nice and get it clean. I'll be able to do what I want there, and so that way the backyard would just be a whole beautiful oasis and I can enjoy all of the views. Also, if you're new here, you're not familiar that this fence that is behind this my patio area, the fence does not belong to me. That is my neighbor's fence. And so my husband and I came up with a couple of solutions what we're gonna have to do. But right now that fence will have to be taken care of, because if we put a fence up, the neighbor's fence will fall on our fence. And so we'll get to that when we cross that bridge. So what you see that I'm doing now is I took the 4x4s out because it was easier to lift that without the 4x4s in there, to move it closer, because it needed to be closer in order for me to have the long pillow cushion that we sit down on to go across the cedar blocks, and you'll see that closer. So this is still the same day. It is that evening, and what I am doing now is I am doing both of the flower pots. And so what I use is a piece of cardstock. I actually cut it out to almost the shape of the bottom of the post, and then what I do is I drill the 2 holes into the bottom of one, take the cardstock, put it up under the one that I drill, poke the holes into the cardstock, and then I use that same cardstock to put the holes in the bottom of the flower pots, as well as the same in the next post. I'm using wood screws, and so I am screwing my my post into the bottom of the flower pot first. That gives me some stability when I stand it straight up. And then what I did was I did not want to use any more wood to having to keep it up and level by screwing more wood to it on the ground. So because of the way the roof hangs over this back porch a little, I actually utilize the house. So you'll see I'll take both of the pots, I just like that, put it up to the house. And before I pour in the cement, what I do is I use the ladder, the ladder, and then I go and check and make sure the posts are level. Once they're level, that is when I then actually pour in the cement into each pot. So you now see that I'm making sure that they're sturdy. I'm also standing up on the ladder and make sure that they was level. I went to the back of my trunk and got both of the 80-pound bags of cement. I pour them each into the pot. And then each pot I put in a gallon of water. And I actually let these dry overnight, trying to give you a better view. And then the next morning, which you'll see the very next day, is when I actually came out and moved those over. And I decorated the area, as well as I started filling the pots and planting the plants. So that's where the fun part comes in, is the decorating. Oh, you know what? I just thought about it also. That patio rug actually came from Aldi, and it was $14.99. And the sunshade came from Aldi's as well, and that was $14.99. So just want to make sure that I'd include that in there, so that way I can do a final cost for this project. I will be given accurate information. So I need a little assistance to come out here and get this rug lifted up under here. I was not about to take those 4x4s back out of those center blocks. I had these pillows for years. These pillows came from At Home store, and I had them for years. And the pink and white and orange pillows, they actually came from Five and Below, and they was $5 each. So I need to add that into the cost. My costs just keep going up. So the little plants that you see that I'm planting, those are actually seeds that I had purchased from the Dollar Tree. And I can't remember which ones it was. I will actually have to put that in the description as well. And the other one that I'm going to plant in the other pot, that one is from the Dollar Tree as well. And I kind of neglected that one because I kind of forgot about it. And so it's half dead, and I am testing myself to see if I can nurture it and bring it back to life. And if I cannot, it is fine. I already have more plants that I had purchased that are in other flower pots that I can just take these out and replace it. But I did want to see if I can bring it back. So I'm testing my little green thumb, put it that way. You see that I'm moving the cow manure because I forgot again to spray my little flaxseed at the bottom of my post. Then I went and did a bunch of other stuff until it dried and came back, so that way once it was dry, then I was able then to go ahead and plant. Ooh, excuse me. So I had originally brought over This little wood barrel that I had, I painted that also years ago. And I was going to use it over here in this space, and then it didn't work out. But that other flower pot that's on the top, I purchased that the exact same time that I purchased the gray pots that I had bought off season last year, that you see me use up on my front porch. Well, what I am doing with this pot, which I purchased that pot for this, is doing a little DIY, a little small little, I wouldn't say, well, I guess it'll be a tabletop fire pit, because I decided that I am going to do a table, a little table with cedar blocks as well that's going to go in this space. And so I'll share that when I decide to do that, and that may be in one of my upcoming videos as well, because I do want to put one here in this space. So what I'm doing is I took that little pot there, and I put in gravel pavers at the bottom to fill it up halfway. And then I have a little centerpiece that can make sure that the white rocks that I have, and these small white rocks is what I have from the Dollar Tree, and I used that in the house in the flower, 2 of my little vases where I did the little succulents plants a couple of years ago, and I forgot I had those rocks. I found them in a container. But anyway, I'm utilizing that, and that's where I'm going to put it in my little do my little DIY. So I'm getting my fuel. I clean that all off, and that'll go there and sit out here on the table when I make it for the mosquitoes. And I do have the citronella little incense. I purchased those from Amazon, and they're going to go into the flower pots, which I didn't share that, but I put those in there so that way we can light those. The lights that I'm showing you now, I purchased those lights from Temu, and it actually came with like 2 of those in each one. But the last one, which you'll hear me say on the other side, it is extremely long. It is not the same length as the other one, but oh well, I just double wrapped it around the pole. It is what it is. Okay, so this is what the final results look like. Just remember, I was not able to put up the sunshade. I told that to you already in the voiceover. So the reason I was not able to put up the sunshade, because the pots are too close together. It would have been great if I had that additional row. So just remember, soon as I can get those 20 by 20, I'll be able to add the additional row. So this is what I'm thinking though, okay? If I am not able to get the additional row, let me turn you around. Okay, let's have a seat for a moment. If I am not able to get the additional row, what I decided that I am going to do, I'm not going to do it now, okay, because I really want to tackle all of my other transformations back here in the backyard. So this is something I may do in the fall once it cools off. If I am absolutely not able to get the 20 by 20s, what I am going to do is I can always add additional, get the smaller sizes, and I can put that in the middle. That way it's not visually shown, and that way I can keep the 20 by 20s out on the outside of them. That way the area rug will cover it up and you won't be able to see it. So that is my plan B if I'm not able to get the 20 by 20s. Okay, because I do want to add the sunshade. The lights on this pole here behind me, they are much longer than all of my other lights that came on my post, and I'm actually not certain why. I ordered them, you know, all the same time. Actually not the same time. Two of them came in first, and then I ordered two more after I decided that I was going to do this out here in the backyard. But for some reason it is extremely long. Okay, hold on baby, let me finish talking. Okay honey, thank you baby. So anyway, I like the way that it turned out. I'm going to do a DIY little bench that's going to go in the front. I don't want to purchase, I think I told you this before, but I didn't want to purchase furniture that's going to be out here that I know is going to be under this tree. And this is the tree that drips the water, you know, and that can cause damage or whatever. These teal pillows that I have here, I actually done had these pillows, oh my God, maybe 4 years. And so I've been using it outside for 4 years. I just put them in the little brown storage here. Every winter I put them up and don't bring them back out again until like the spring or whatever. So they've been holding up good. One of my buttons did come off, so I got to sew that button back on there, but that's not going to take long at all. I think my next project that I'm going to tackle is going to be the porch. And what I mean by the porch, first I'm going to go ahead and paint the doors, the double French doors that's in my great room. I'm going to paint those black. That's on the outside. So let me turn the camera around and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm actually talking about those two doors up there. So I'm going to do that there and then get the porch cleared off. In my next video, I'll explain everything, what I'm going to do, as well as what I'm going to do over here with the grill area and where the chairs is, the table. So I'll explain all that in my next backyard transformation video. So thank you everyone for stopping by today's video. I greatly appreciate it. I hope that you have enjoyed this DIY patio as much as I did. I can now come out here in the evening and can enjoy this. So, and what I mean by that is this. Oh, sorry about that. It is currently 12 p.m., okay? Which, you know, it is extremely hot and we're up under a heat advisory. But up under this tree here on this bench, you can see I am in the shade. And so we have one of those huge orange utility fans. So if we wanted to come out, sorry about that. If we wanted to come out and sit out here, then we could. In the evening, it's real nice and cool. And with the water that drips every blue moon from the tree above, it just gives this coolness or whatever. So I'm really satisfied. I'm glad I was able to get this part done. Anyway, I am just babbling and rambling on. Let's go ahead and end this video. Thank you so much for stopping by today's video. I greatly appreciate each and every last one of you. Remember to always be bold, be creative, and most importantly, be you. Until next time, friends. Bye.